ArcGIS Online is an online collaborative WebGIS that allows you to use, create, and share maps, applications, analytics, and data. You get access to ready-to-use maps, applications, and ESRI's secure cloud where you can add items and publish web layers. It's an online service, so there is nothing to install, allowing for immediate productivity. Just sign in to your ArcGIS Online account to get instant access to maps and applications. Once you're signed into your organization, click on My Content to access your maps and layers. Here's where you can access all of your existing maps and different layers of data. This is an example of a web map of an area of interest in Newark, New Jersey. The layers that are existing within this map are listed here in our contents on the left side of the screen. We can add additional layers by clicking the Add button, and we can search ArcGIS Online for layers. We can browse Living Atlas layers, which is thematic maps that are available to you by category, such as imagery, demographics, and so forth. We can add layers that are published on the web. We can add layers from an existing file on our computer, such as a spreadsheet or a shapefile. Or we can add and create map nodes, which is how we use features to symbolize something that we want to show on the map. We can use the Edit button to create new features to add to the map. We can change the base map to imagery, topographic, or perhaps a streets layer, which is what we have on now. We can conduct analysis on the existing layers within our map using the Analysis button. We can share our map with members of our organization or the public. In addition to conducting analysis on the layers within our map, we can also change the symbology and filter data from the existing layer. For example, this is our neighborhood layer. These boundaries that you see here represent neighborhood boundaries within Newark, New Jersey. If you click on a feature on a map, you'll get a pop-up window that tells you information about that feature. In this case, this is the Belmont Springfield neighborhood. Its area is 0.78 acres, and the median rent, according to Zillow.com, is $1,350. So from the layer itself, I can look at the attribute table that is attached to that feature class to get more information about that layer. I can change the symbology or the style, which basically means the colors and the way in which we're displaying this information. And I can filter out certain neighborhoods that are perhaps above or below the median rent for Newark as a whole, or I can perform additional analysis. Let's change the symbology of this neighborhood layers so that it represents the median rent. So here what we did is we chose the attribute Zillow rent as the value for which the map is displaying information. So in this case, we're using a graduated symbol type of symbology where the symbols are sized based on the median rent within each neighborhood. You can click on the options buttons to change perhaps size of the symbol, color of the symbol, and other ways to display the information. You can filter out data such as, you can use the filter button to filter out data. For example, if we want to see where the neighborhoods that have median rents greater than $1,200, it's very easy to filter that out. Click the filter button, and select the attribute rent is greater than 1200. When we apply that filter, we see that now we only have about 6 neighborhoods that meet that criteria. So if you would like to add demographic information about an area and you don't have that information available to you from your computer or your organization, the Living Atlas is a great way to access that information. So you click on the Add button, go to Living Atlas Layers, and select a category. So you can select imagery layers, base maps, historical maps, or you can choose based on demographic and lifestyle. So if you're interested in population and housing, you can simply just click on that layer and add it to your map. So we have here available to us is population density, population growth, unemployment, and several other layers that are under population and housing. So if you would like to add population growth to your map, just simply click on the layer and close the dialog window. Now that you have population growth as a layer in your map, we'll turn off the neighborhoods layer, which is currently above that layer, so that we can investigate what the population growth is like within our target neighborhoods. So for instance, this is a downtown area in North New Jersey. If you simply just click on that block group, you get instant information about what's happening with the population, as far as quick statistics as well as charts showing the growth rates at different increments. Another great tool of ArcGIS Online, in addition to being able to quickly create, generate, share maps and applications, you can also conduct analysis. So this is a layer that represents all of the schools within our target neighborhood. For instance, I can summarize the data, meaning I can aggregate points and get statistics about points that fall within each neighborhood. Can use the Analyze Patterns analysis toolset to create density maps and find hotspots of clusters of certain types of points within my maps. Once you have conducted all of the analysis that you intended to conduct and you have all of your layers listed here, you can click on the Create Presentation button to start a presentation that consists of web maps. So this presentation is kind of like slides, but they're not really, because basically what they are is they're tied to live web maps, providing more capability of interacting with the audience. So it's a way to set up a story through maps, and the way it basically goes from each page or each slide is a different setup of either extent, so where you're zoomed into in the map. So perhaps you're at this extent, perhaps you're zoomed in a little further, so you would just set up your bookmarks for your extents. And also, depending on which page or slide of the presentation, layers displayed and information displayed will change within your map. Another great feature of ArcGIS Online is that you can create custom applications that are very easy and a great way to also tell your story through maps. So this concludes an introduction to ArcGIS Online. Stay tuned for a video on creating applications from your web maps.